Hello folks, and this is Joseph Johns again online, and this time we're doing a Photoshop a trick that's a little different. Now this is an old post from 2018. This is one where this girl had a birthday. She didn't know she was getting silly stringed, and I not only operate the camera, but I also sprayed her with the silly string. So it was a tough little thing to pull off, but once you learn the tricks, it's pretty easy. But there is still some things that are unfortunately beyond my control. So here's the first picture of her. See, none of these are really edited, and I didn't save the original sized one. In fact, I didn't even notice the photo crasher in the third one until I got down there. But see, there's the one where she gets sprayed, and you see that guy in pink who's coming in here. Now I want to apologize in advance if this guy happens to know me or anything, but I'm gonna have some fun at your expense. Alright, so Kylie's clearly enjoying the moment. But what can really be distracting from such a beautiful smile she has? I can show you right here. There's the guy in the pink that was in the other shot, and here he is. He's got this big devious grin on his face right here, and he's got both hands with the middle finger pointed in the background. So while this didn't really ruin this photo, I've had lots of photos that were ruined by someone wanting to come up and flip the bird, and honestly I'm not really the biggest fan of that. So please, if you're watching this video, keep in mind that that's one of my pet peeves from now on. If you see me out in the field, I kinda don't like when people come back there and flip the middle finger. Sometimes it does irreversible damage to images, and sometimes it does irreversible damage, and I can't fix it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up Photoshop right here. Okay, so first things first, the clone stamp is gonna be on the attack. And I also kind of want to eliminate that grin right there, because it's kind of peeving me a bit with this. But as you see right here, we're gonna do a clone stamp amputation. Alright, so I got the clone stamp up a little too high right now, so we're gonna turn it down to about, I think, 37. I ain't too worried about the buttons on his shirt not being noticed, because we're trying to keep this detail less about him and more about her. So we're gonna turn that down. That's one middle finger gone right there. Now I'm gonna just gnaw at this one just a little bit. And then I'm gonna clone out this little ghost here. Now again, I broke my own rule when I posted this, because I didn't keep the original size file. I posted this before I even noticed the guy in the background with the middle finger. So now you see the middle fingers are gone. There's really not much distraction here, but let's do some more here. I'm probably going to go with the clone stamp once again, and this is where I start. We're just going to make it look like his mouth is closed. And, I created a ghost right here, so we need to get rid of that. Those of you tuning in, feel free to ask questions. I am watching my cell phone, so if you got anything. Basically, I have pretty much just photoshopped his lower lip back in place there. Alright, now let's see. He's still got that distracting look, and I'm still not exactly satisfied right at the moment. So next, we're gonna use the quick selection tool, and it needs to be on positive. And I'm gonna quick select his face. Let's see if we select it more than we needed. Sometimes it will. That's all we really need. And I'm gonna attack. Let's see. I ain't done this in a while, but I'm trying to blur this out. I don't do this too often, in fact, so sometimes it's easy for me to forget what I'm supposed to be doing when it comes to this. Oh yeah, this is what I need to be doing. This is the blur tool, and we're gonna blur him out as much as possible. Just make it look like the camera didn't even really pick him up too good. And as you see, when I got the quick selection on, it allows me to keep the blur within the bounds of his face. So we're gonna make his look a little more normal. And normally I wouldn't resort to extreme methods like this. This is a little extreme for what I normally do, but I like to use this for a demonstration. Alright, so next we're going to deselect that, and then I'm going to take the blur tool and I'm going to make it where his hands are blurred a little more too. So, and this time I'm doing it without the quick selection, so that we can focus more on the birthday girl and less on the guy crashing trying to flip the bird in the background. Oh well, it looks like maybe he's got his hands cuffed right there. Now he just kind of looks aggressive though, so we really got to, looks like he's about to harm her. In a way, if you really focus on that much, but we're trying to keep the influence of him as far out of this photo as possible, so that he doesn't ruin the moment. This is after she got silly stringed, and this is her reaction to it, right here. When I did this, I normally like to take one photo before spraying him with silly string, another photo during the silly string attack, and then another one of their reaction to being silly stringed. You know, as you can see, she enjoyed it. So she enjoyed the surprise, but I'm just gonna do some more blurring on these hands, because he's... And that way we eliminate more and more of his influence in this photo. And also on Live Photoshop, if you got a photo you want me to edit, feel free to let me know. My email is jjohns5182@hotmail.com. Comment the video and then send me it via email. I'll come in the email, I'll download it, and I'll see what magic I can work with it right here live. I'm hoping to make this a regular podcast. Alright, let's see. I think we've got it where he's less distracting as possible now. So this is where we'll end this segment right here. I mean, like I said, a little more extreme than I normally do, but I mean, this is just to show you something you can do about photo crashers. So, for now, I'm Joseph Johns, and I am signing off.